Hey everybody, Paul here. It's still morning in Korea. And regarding collapse and the end of the world as we know it, which appears to be bearing down on us pretty quickly, massive problems that we've documented elsewhere. There's so many different opinions and feelings to have about this. Certainly anger and sadness and fear, terrible fear. What about the next generations? All that. What I want to talk about for a minute though is shame. What I hear a lot from people is that the sense of we should have been better. Like we're really messing things up terribly, and we should know better. We should have known better, and we ought to switch things up and change now, 5 minutes ago. All completely reasonable, absolutely. I'm fascinated by deep time. I'm fascinated by how things have played out over hundreds and thousands of generations of humans. And my sense is that everything that we see here around me, all of this industrial 8 billion person electronic civilization, this all came about from hundreds of thousands of years of generations of success, of doing everything that we could for all of the right reasons, to take care of the people we cared about, our families, our offspring, to figure out how to have food for tomorrow and how to protect ourselves. And we have been supremely successful. And in fact, none of this was any bit of a problem up until 25 generations ago, maybe. I mean, up until the 1700s, maybe. We weren't causing any problems. We weren't killing everything around us. We weren't destroying the biosphere or any of that. And we figured out coal, and everything went logarithmic and everything, right? We went from a few 100 million of us to like 8 billion in 25 generations. And honestly, I don't believe that anybody had even the faintest inkling that there was any problem until like 2 or 3 generations ago, right? Carl Sagan, Hansen, these guys were testified in front of Congress in the 60s or the 70s or 80s. It's like a couple of nerdy scientists going, hey, wait a minute, guys, I think we got a problem here. But this was outlier. This was like really exotic kind of a problem that we had never in our wildest dreams imagined. It's really only in the last generation or two that we've even begun to have this sense of the impending problem. And I'm not discounting the problem. I understand it's a terrible problem. It also seems to me unreasonable that 8 billion of us would figure out what to do after hundreds of thousands of generations of incredibly successful momentum. I reckon I have lower expectations of us. In fact, it's more complex than that. It's really difficult for us to imagine these problems collectively, because everything we're doing has worked great for all of our history, all of our time being humans. Everything from standing up and using our hands and fire and our brains getting bigger and faster and smart. Like everything that we've done has been great for us, basically forever, up until about like a minute and a half ago. And then all of a sudden, it's terrible. Good morning.